All right, guys, we are starting our trig unit, okay? But before we start your unit circle, we're going to do a little bit of a review. And our review comes from section 8.1, and it's called the Right Triangle Trig, and then some applications. Now, as you can see here, we are given a right triangle, okay? A right triangle meaning that there is one angle that is a 90 degree. So your angle is capital letter A. So that's angle A, this is angle B. In your hypotenuse, it's always going to be C here. As you can tell, opposite of the angle are lowercase letters to represent the sides. So C is going to be your hypotenuse because it's opposite of the biggest angle, which is a right angle, 90 degrees. Angle B, opposite of that is low b, that's your side B. And angle A, opposite of that, guys, is going to be little a to represent, again, the sides, the legs, okay? Pythagorean theorem, because C is your longest leg, Pythagoras said C squared, C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Your angle, remember, the entire triangle is going to add up to 180 degrees. So what that means is that C is already 90 degrees. So that means the remaining two sides, that's not C, so angle A plus angle B will be 90 degrees. Okay, so again, the entire triangle, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle C equals 180 degrees. From geometry, or even last year, guys, in Algebra 2, we reviewed a little bit about your sine, your cosine, your tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And we are going to start with sine. So sine is a trig function, and usually sine by itself doesn't really mean anything. So normally we have to have an angle. I'm going to use this symbol called theta. Okay, so this little thing called theta represents an angle. And we abbreviate sine to go like this, S-I-N, but we don't say sin, so make sure we don't say sin. So it's still sine, and sine of an angle is going to be opposite leg divided by your hypotenuse, okay? Opposite leg divided by hypotenuse. Cosine, again, make sure we have an angle. This is your theta, and abbreviation is COS of theta equals adjacent leg divided by hypotenuse. Now, sometimes we kind of abbreviate to make this O over H. And then to abbreviate this, we say A over H. Tangent of an angle, again, we're going to use theta. Abbreviation of that, guys, is TAN. Okay, TAN of theta. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So to abbreviate this some more, this is going to be O divided by A. Cosecant of theta, abbreviation is CSC of theta. It's your reciprocal function of sine. Okay, so that means it's 1 divided by sine. Well, if sine is opposite over hypotenuse, this is going to be hypotenuse divided by opposite. Secant of an angle, which is theta, abbreviation is SEC and then your angle. This is the reciprocal function of cosine, so 1 divided by cosine. And if cosine, y'all, is adjacent over hypotenuse, then this is going to be hypotenuse divided by adjacent. Cotangent of your angle, let's use theta again, abbreviation COT of theta. This is the reciprocal function of tangent, tangent. And if tangent, you guys, is adjacent, okay, so if tangent is opposite over adjacent, this is going to be adjacent over opposite. Now, let's go and solve example 1. Example 1, solve the triangle round to 2 decimal places. So can you guys go grab your calculator before we start? Okay, so solve a triangle, meaning that we are going to find all missing parts, okay? That means they could be an angle, they could be sides. Anything that's not currently given to you, we have to find it. So we have angle B, that is not a value that's given. So guys, we're missing parts are, okay, missing parts. First, we have angle B that we need to find. This is letter C right here, so this is angle C. This is letter A, so this is angle A. Now, we have angle A is given. Angle C is 90 degrees, so angle C is 90 degrees because that is going to be a right angle. If we are using degrees, guys, make sure we have a bubble. Then we are missing side, little a, and we're missing side, little c, okay? So as we know already, your angle A plus angle B is going to equal to 90 degrees. Since angle A is 40, so we're going to take 90 degrees minus 40 degrees equals 50 degrees. And that's going to be your angle B. So that's going to be 50 degrees. Pythagorean theorem says c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now, if we have, guys, one side, then I could technically find c squared. But we don't. We have two sides that are missing. So this is when trig is going to be useful, okay? We are going to use sine. Sine of angle A equals opposite over hypotenuse. Now the problem is, I do have sine of 40 degrees, okay? But your opposite leg is A, because opposite of 40 degrees is letter A, and hypotenuse is C. So currently you got two unknown values, so that's not possible to use sine of A. But what if, guys, we use sine of angle B? Okay, remember B is 50 degrees, so sine of 50 degrees equals opposite of B is 2. So 2 divided by hypotenuse is always C. So now we only have one unknown variable. This will allow us to solve, okay? So to solve this, we are going to multiply both sides by C. That is going to say C times sine of 50 degrees equals 2. Now we are going to isolate C, so divide both sides by sine of 50 degrees. Now let's bust out your calculator. We're going to do 2 divided by sine of 50. I'm going to use decimals so you guys can see what this looks like. So let's go to decimal. Remember, so when you're using decimal, make sure, first things first, make sure we're changing this to degrees, okay? So that means degrees is highlighted. We are going to use 2 divided by, and then I'm going to use type sine. And remember, it was sine of 50 degrees, right? So 2 divided by sine of 50. So sine of 50, because I'm in degrees, and this is your decimal right here. It says 2.6108, and I believe it wants us to run to 2 decimal places. So let's go back and look. If it's 2 decimal places, we look at the third digit. It's a 0, so it's 2.61. Okay. And that's your C value. So 2.61. Now let's do the same thing for A, okay? So remember this now, your A leg is missing, but I have this opposite leg. So I'm going to use, if you think about this, if you can use angle B or angle A, it doesn't matter. Remember, this is 50 degrees. So I have opposite of 50 is 2. Adjacent, that means a side next to it, is A. So I'm going to use tangent, okay? So I'm going to use tangent to solve. So tangent of 50 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Well, tangent of 50 degrees equals opposite, again, is 2. Remember, this is your angle, opposite leg is 2. Adjacent leg is A, which is what we're trying to solve. Similarly, we're going to multiply both sides by a. Then we have a times tangent of 50 degrees, y'all, equals, this cancel. Our job is to solve for a, so now divide both sides by tangent of 50. There you go. Oh, it's frozen on me for a second. Okay, so that's going to reduce. So a is, this is again, we need to use a calculator, and let's crunch it out. So 2 divided by tangent of 50 and round to 2 decimal places. I'm going to go to decimals again just to show you, but you should be able to. So 2 divided by tangent of 50. Okay, so our answer, remember, we're looking at the third digit if you want to round, and then this is 8, so that means it's 1.68. Draw. So about 1.68. So A is about, ooh, the whole thing just moved on me there, guys. There you go. Okay, A is going to be about 1.68.